Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to 2 Point Campus. We're going to be playing some challenge mode today, which is the brand new mode that came out with the Halloween update. We're starting with the Siege of Noblestead, so we're going to be going back to one of my favourite campuses in the actual campaign mode. This week I'm going to be doing both challenge modes, so we're going to have a one on Wednesday and a one on Friday, and then we'll be going back to the actual campaign and progressing through that. So, nosy zombies. When the leaves turn orange, the films turn scary, and the spooky spirits are perfectly wrong. Monsters of all kinds and quality descend upon the county to ruin the fun and take things too far. Lord Blackguard was already sick of people knocking on his door and demanding confectionery, so he's in no mood for an undead horde. Keep the invaders at bay and help your knights thrive in a little dark age. We've got 2 years. We have to survive all of the invasions and level up as many students as possible. The course is Blackguard Night School, and our student intake to begin with is 10. Now, we need to purchase a plot. I'm going to try and just purchase the biggest one I can possibly get, which I think might be this one up here. If we can get that, I mean, that one's really expensive at 75,000. This one is 25,000. I don't know what the difference is, actually. So this one is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to grab this one. And this is where we're going to start our campus. So once this plot has been purchased, we will see what's next. I think it's just going to be a case of building our campus. Right, so Battleground, Lecture Theatre, Night School Teacher. Now, important thing to know about challenge mode, we can't take any loans out, and we also can't add any more courses. So we can't cheese this by just putting in general knowledge and leveling up our students as quickly as possible. The first thing we're going to want to do is, I'm actually going to build my Battleground first. So we're going to have a smallish Battleground. I'm not going to go with a 5x5 though. I'm going to go with something like a 7x7. Maybe an 8x8 just because even numbers are better for me. And then we'll pop in our entrance. Stick the combat training right at the back here. Now, I think what will happen is when we get the invaders coming in, what I've noticed is they come and try and damage machines and stuff. So if we have this like right at the back here in the corner, and we then put the door somewhere else, what we can actually do is create like a tunnel or like some sort of weird like experience for the invaders, so they actually have a bit of a way to go to actually get to this. So we can put the combat station here now. So they're going to have to run in, loop round, and then get that way. Yeah, that makes sense. Then we'll put a row of training dummies in here, just to try and boost the prestige and the learning power of the whole space. We'll also put this one here as well, and then they'll hopefully get distracted by that, which will mean it'll take them a lot longer to get to the actual main like machine. That was easy. There we go. Right, so we've now got that big gap in the middle there, and that's that done. We've spent not too much of our budget. I'm just going to have a quick look over here. So we want to make sure that we're careful with our budget as well. What I don't want to do is have our intake too low at the same time. So if we just drop our tuition fees all the way down, okay, so we're at 0 at the moment. If we just start piling it back up, as soon as that number of applications drops, we know our limit. So it drops down there, we'll put it to here, then we know we're going to get 15 students in to begin the new year. I'm going to apply those changes, and then we'll build our first campus building. Now we want to do something quite similar again with the campus building. We want to try and create like a little choke point for any invaders. So we'll build our first building here, and our lecture theatre, we don't need to make it too big, but I would like to make it a decent size one. So we'll pop that in there, and then the seating will go there. And once again, we'll just try and push this rating up as high as we possibly can. We don't need to worry too much about a lot of things. We just need to kind of try and get the prestige level up, because we have to like push these training of the students up as much as we possibly can. Everything else kind of doesn't really matter. It would be good to have some entertainment, but I don't know if we necessarily need a student lounge. And next up, we want to do a big library. So a huge library going all the way along here, I guess. We can fit 19 students in this one. So is it worth just dropping it a little? So that takes us down to 18, 17, 16, right, all the way back down. We will leave that as it is like that. What happens if I then add one all the way along here? Okay, right. That gives us 24 students in this library.
The wording
I'll
they
drop it down to
settle on
17.
as and when
That's
it
all we
happens.
really need for now, because that's how many students we're going to have coming in anyway. So that's okay. And then our dormitories, I actually have a dorm template ready to go. I'd worked on a while back, and I think it's pretty good. So we'll pop that in. And that'll bring us in a nice profit. That also boosts our campus level. So we're going to increase the level of our night school already, and we need to build another battleground. So this one, we're just going to copy and paste in right there. Once again, we have the bottleneck. Now we need to hire 2 night school teachers. We've got one right there. We'll pop them in. Now the lecture theatre, I want to schedule some events. So I want to make sure that I've got a sci-fi film scheduled right off the bat. I'm doing this now because I will eventually run out of money and not be able to do it. So we're just going to make sure that we've got these in place. And if we can have a good learning rate throughout the year, just at varying intervals, that should keep our XP ticking in and keep our students leveling up. Got another night school teacher that I can probably hire now. There we go. We need to bring in a... There we go, right. And you, we're going to make sure that you are only working... I don't want you to do training, but I do need to make sure that you're only working in library. Clubs. Now, important thing about clubs for this one, we're going to need probably the book club. So, book club coming in because the book club will increase their learning rate. And I'm also going to bring in speed walking club, I think, to increase how fast they walk. Next then, we're going to grab it's Orb Club. Orb Club. Receive money for club members. Reduces club member happiness. Okay. Club members learn faster, walk faster. Extra bits in terms of getting a student union or something, but that is going to eat into my budget a little bit too much. So I'm just going to put in a few games machines and stuff for them, and then we'll get these in place. I don't want to put down any like kiosks because, again, that is going to take time away from staff who I'm going to need to run a fairly low staff profile. And let's just have a look at our course management. We don't have enough money yet to upgrade the course again, so let's have a private tuition room. Oh no, we're going to do a bathroom.
You want to learn better? Of course
right
you
there.
do.
Right, okay, so next up we're going to want to put in a gym. Because believe it or not, this can actually help the course. Also gives the students some rec time. Our campus level is almost topped out, so it's time for some janitors. At the moment, we don't have any that are really useful, so I'm just going to let the applicants come back in. That is mechanics. And what we can do is actually we'll bring one in there and we'll upgrade. Okay, so we don't have the research to actually improve that. So it looks like we would have to build a research department as well. Ah, here we go. Now we're talking. Now security is going to be vital. We're going to have invaders on like a horde mode type thing, so we need to make sure that we're keeping an eye on that. I'm going to bring you in for when I finally do a... Oh, actually, that's true. We need to get a private tuition room in place. So we'll put that in, and we'll try and make this one a really good one too. All right, campus level 6, and we are out of money. So we can upgrade that, and then we can start our academic year. Our student intake is 25. Let's just have a quick look, see if we can increase that anymore. No. Right, so that's 25 students coming in to begin the year. Let's go.
Skills are non-transferable.
Now we've got an assistant required in the library. We're going to have you come in there, and if we just find you, just make sure that you are only working in the library.
For night school.
Yep, that's right. You're only allowed to work in the library. Okay, great. So we've already got invaders coming in, and you can see they're making a beeline for the library because they aren't able to quickly get to that lectern over there.
Know what to do.
We are upgrading our lecterns as well, and you can see they're not going for these battlegrounds either because, well, I don't know why. And I'm glad they're not, but they would have the little bit of a walkway to get through. You can see one of them's almost getting to the lecture theatre, but has decided to go to the toilet instead. And our security staff are dealing with them, but we are going to need some more security staff, so we're going to bring another 2 in. And I'm also, actually, I'm going to bring 3 in. We're going to grab this one too. There we go. Right. All of the invaders are going to be defeated, and we'll get a nice bonus for that. We've made a loss in our first month. If we just have a quick look over here, you can see our dormitory. There's 25 students in it and is bringing in 43,000 for the year. So the book club want a bookworm. We can't afford it right now. If we can get rid of our final invader here, though, we'll be fine. Yes, we did it. Right, okay, we get a nice bonus of 20,000. So we can now put in a speed walking sign and a bookworm.
Students are reminded to be in 2 places at once.
So we've got our students who are in the clubs kind of moving quickly and learning like at a quicker rate. And that should allow us to push through these leveling up objectives. Now, I've almost finished upgrading the lectern as well, and that means we'll get that one put in as soon as we can. I think I have a janitor who can do upgrades, but I can just see here that's a much better teacher for us as well. And our campus has leveled up once more. We can almost afford to... coming in, they're walking straight into our janitors who are removing them. We've almost leveled up 50 students already, partly to because of our nice new library, but as well as the combination of the book clubs and having like sci-fi films on as well. That's going to be really useful for us. And if we can just get a mechanic trained janitor on the books as soon as possible, we'll be able to really push these objectives. I'd like to get the first 100, 125 done by the end of this academic year, because then we'll be in a much stronger position going into the next level. And that means we'll actually be able to continue to see our battleground needs maintenance now, so we better get a janitor out there to do that. But we have plenty of time before we actually need to get that done, which gives the janitors a little bit of breathing space to come in and sort everything out. Our lectern can be upgraded, and we're going to do that now. We've leveled up 72 students already. That is a really good start. We're not even halfway through the year, and we are doing very well. Of course, this kind of will reach a tipping point where we don't quite have enough students getting leveled up, because we only have a limited number coming in that first year, and they'll be out of like leveling up kind of time. So we're really reliant on new students coming in the next year, and that's when I hope to get the bulk of everything done. But if we can get 100 leveled up by the time this first year is over, at least that would be really good. 125 would be the real sweet spot though, and I'd like to get us there as quickly as we possibly can. We've got lots of invaders, but we are starting to remove them. We just need to kind of keep an eye on where they are. They're coming across the quad here now. And our janitors should hopefully be getting ready to deal with them. There's another group of 3. And more coming in. But they are running straight into our janitors. We've had 2 there get into the library, and they're going to start smashing stuff up. But they're not getting to the lecture theatre. They are being held up on their way round into the actual combat training stations, and they're not getting quite there. So this one's about to get damaged. I'm going to call a janitor over there immediately, because there's a lesson about to start there soon. And I'm going to call a janitor there. Now, one of the good things is that I've noticed with other invasions in the game is if you have a janitor repairing that already and someone comes along to destroy it, the janitor will repair them. There's the dragon tower. The janitor will repair them as they're being attacked at the same time. So that's a good tip, is if you spot something about to happen and you're able to get a janitor there, the janitor will continue repairing it as it's taking damage. So it'll never get to a point where it needs repairing from scratch. One more student to level up, and then we'll have got our bronze objectives. There we go. So we've got 200 more to go. We've got about a year and a half in which to do it, so that's a really good start. What I really do need though is to get 3 more of these invaders defeated, 1 more, and then I can put my dragon tower down immediately, which is going to be a huge boost and allow us to train that next kind of category and tier of students. But they're coming into the right places. This is where we want them. Now, we don't want them here, so I'm going to immediately once again queue up to have some maintenance done. I'm going to do the same with this lectern, and we're going to do the same with that combat training station. Actually, we can't do it with that yet. But now it will take some damage, and we can call a janitor over there to start working on it.
Research project
They want a
complete.
crescent bench. Well, I will put one in. Right there.
Student
Now,
housing
if we can
should be
very
kept
quickly get a
building
janitor over there to do the repair work that's required. Now, this is where you will notice a couple of issues in that our janitors do need to take the same path. But we've got that done. Our lecture theatre is also being maintained, and we're not going to see any damage to any of our courses. There's still 9 remaining. If I can actually... Have I got the ability to get another janitor in? Yeah, we have. We're going to put you down.
This is Harrison Wolf.
And is there another one? There's one. Now, we do need to be very aware of the fact that we are probably going to have to bring it, like, build a joust if we're going to see this through. As you can see here, this combat training station has been destroyed, but the students are moving into the other one, which has also been destroyed. We've got janitors on the way, though. We just really need to get them done very quickly. We've lost money again. We still can't afford the Dragon Tower. If we can just get a janitor in there to repair that quickly before the end of this class.
Well done.
I'm going to reject that, and I'm going to reject that because that's not going to happen right now. But we've got 153 students leveled up,
Listening. You were asleep. I saw
and it looks like we've managed to fix things, so students can go in and complete their lessons. And as long as they're in the room, we're not going to get a failure on that. And we should make enough money at the end of this month to kind of bring us out of debt, as well as removing our invaders. We've got 4 left to find and 13 days to do it. Looks like there's 2 more getting hosed down there. If we can find another 2 in these final 10 days, that would be really good. Just to push us over that final, that's campus level 9. We can actually upgrade it. We're at the end of the year. We just failed on that
Was
one.
there anything we wanted to do?
We still can't afford our Dragon Tower, and we can't get a loan. What we can do, though, is upgrade the course. Problem is, that requires the building of new rooms, costing about 53,750. I'm tempted, given that we got over the halfway mark.
No unauthorized
We need another jousting field and a lecture
This is
theatre.
an academic institution. Our bathrooms are co-educational.
So even if we do bring them in, we're still going to need that amount. If I bring up the student fees a little bit, that's 30 new students. I bring them up to here so we only get 27 students in. That's still going to be good, and we're going to get a fair amount of money in from the tuition.
The academic year
So there's not a
is
lot
now
else we can do.
over.
We've got to hire some more teachers. We've got to duplicate some more rooms, and we've got to carry on pushing. Now, we did well on research and stuff. We have gotten a couple of rewards for our awards there, which puts us up to 26,000. Now, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to hire a new jousting teacher. We need to duplicate our lecture theatre, which we can't afford to do right now. And we need another, well, we need to build a jousting field. So the jousting field costs too much. We can't physically afford that right now. We can, however, put in a new lecture theatre. That's in there, and now we need a jousting field. Now, we don't have the money for a jousting field, so we might have to sell off a few things. I'm wondering if we can sell this research lab. Now that I've upgraded this,
Thank you.
we can actually sell that. Then we'll put our jousting field in. I will move this. Not that. The whole room, thank you.
I've lived in 2 Point County for more years
Right,
than
the
I
research
can
has
remember.
done its job. We've got those upgrades unlocked. We can't actually. There's not really any point. We're not going to have enough time to get our brand new research stuff done. So better to just sell off that room and then start expanding everything this way, so we get our jousting field in.
I have no idea what it could mean. Don't tell me though. That man's in a.
And that's all we can do for our jousting
I choose
field.
to keep him that
And
way.
then I think maybe dormitories are going to be a good idea, but it'll just be very basic, small dormitory. Oh, it's just going to have to be 4 beds and 1 wardrobe. There we go. That is good. Let's start the new year.
The timetable has now
We
been
immediately get
published.
invaders coming in.
Schedule your lives accordingly.
The flower planter requested. Yeah, we can put those in. That's pretty. And that's going to involve us just making sure that we can really push our students up a little bit more in terms of rent, because this isn't good. I'd really like to duplicate this dormitory, because that makes a nice bit of profit. 48,000 over the course of the year, whereas this is only 19. However, we're about to hit over the 200 mark, and we are only into the end of like the 2nd month of the new year. We've repelled the invaders. We've still got 2 more to find. If we can do that and get the 20 grand bonus, that'll get our dragon tower in straight away. We've got 6 days and 1 more to find. Come on. It's 200 students leveled up now.
Be safe.
Are we going to do it? Are we going to get the last invader?
Slightly less than that. This message
Oh,
is
one
brought to you
escaped.
by the
Never mind.
Milkmaid
But we
Corporation.
can now afford the dragon tower. We'll put in there, and that's going to really help everyone. That gets our campus level up as well. So, although, yeah, it's great to have them happy, when you're on a limited budget, you can't take out loans and all of that sort of stuff. You just need to make sure that everything that you are doing is generating experience for your students. That's why using things like the book club, which increases their learning rate, in combination with the speed walking club, and then putting in like a couple of sci-fi films and everything will really help. I mean, we only need 84 now. Just gonna have a little look over here and see who I can bring in to just keep these things maintained as much as we possibly can. They don't appear to have gone to the jousting track. That doesn't need any maintenance, which is really good. But you can see now, money rolling in. We are going to be able to bring in another sci-fi film in November just to boost the learning rate of our students, and I can put one in this room as well in November to boost the learning rate. Because we can only have 8 students in each room, it's a much better idea to be able to just give 16 students the option in 1 month, and then we can just move forward from there. Battleground needs maintenance. I don't know which one it is. Oh, it's that one. So we just need a janitor to get out there real quick, do the repair work.
On 2-point radio. We got a lot more radical.
We have someone who
radio
can
for you
just step in
today.
and do it.
There
I'm going to
will be
hire.
music,
I can't
there
hire
will be
because I haven't got the money to.
speaking, and if we're
So
lucky,
hopefully they'll just
we'll
turn
have
up
some
within the
county
next 17
shaking
days
news
before the
that'll
course
make us see
lesson
life
starts.
differently forever.
We did well again,
First,
getting rid of our
I
invaders.
find my pencil. Wish me luck.
Can actually now afford to bring in a janitor.
Janitor required.
That's a good one for maintenance. And what we'll do is we'll just have this one only work on doing maintenance. The rest doesn't matter. 23 students to go, and we are not even at the halfway mark of the year. I think the Siege of Noblestead has been well and truly thrown away. We've done well. It's a bit of a chaotic thing, but I think if you can stick to one plot, do it in this one. Like, every other plot is so expensive here, and there's enough space to just, you know, knuckle down and do it. Focus on stuff that is going to increase the learning rate of your students. Don't worry about a student union or anything like that. They aren't going to be in here long enough to be unhappy, you know? And with everything that's going on, you're just going to have to deal with the fact that they might be a bit stressed. We have 9 students left to level up, and everything is going pretty well. We've increased our learning rate. We can now put in another sci-fi film just to really push us over, and that'll really help us finish it all off.
Students with medical issues should go to the health clinic.
1 more to go.
This is an academic institution. Our bathrooms are co-educational.
And there we have it. We've done it. Now we just got to wait the end of the year out. So everything else now is just, let's see how high up we can go, how many students we can level up. Like, things have kind of gone a little bit to pot here because I don't know what happened, but all of our janitors were away doing something, and we now have issues over here at the battleground. I don't know if it's because, like, that's fine, that one's fine now as well, but you can see it's getting damaged as he's repairing it. But he will just continue repairing it until he needs to go on a break. So maybe try setting your roles, like your staff roles. If we can get 1 more defeated here, it'll flip in our favour and we'll get a small reward. There we go, we did
I had
it.
a pretty sweet segment
Yep,
lined
okay.
up for you. but my producer is waving his arms at me through the glass.
So yeah, consider using
Yep.
the tab to
Waving
manage your staff. I
back
mean, I haven't
hasn't
done it this
seemed to
time,
help much.
but you know, you would
I'll see
normally
what he
want
has
like
to
all of
say
these guys who
while
are
you
security
listen to
trained
my
just doing
new
security,
favorite
bring in
song.
some janitors specifically to do maintenance, and then a couple just to clean up the place. One of the things where this could have been improved would be by like putting in having janitors specifically trained in maintenance who can just maintain the machines, and that's their sole focus. Like the invaders will come in, they're zombies or they're mummies, the zombies will vomit on the floor, mummies move a lot faster, and then you will have the curses from the witch from Spiffenmoor. She will be striking lightning and having it rain meteors and stuff. So again, that's all that stuff you've got to watch out for. But this has been good. We've got a nice monthly profit rolling in. We can now kind of just see out the rest of this level. I'm hoping we might actually get to 400 by the end of the year. That would be something special, wouldn't it? Battleground needs maintenance. So again, you just get into this micromanagement phase now that we've done the meat and potatoes of the whole thing. We don't actually need to do any more. Looks like we've been able to do the class. Yeah, there we go. We're back in and carrying on. We've defeated most of the invaders, and this is like the second last wave. And now, because we've got the spare money, I think I'm just going to hire a few more security-based staff and have them just lock down and get ready for this final wave. I do think, you know, training, probably not a good idea because you're not going to have the time to train staff efficiently. You're also not going to have the time to do a great deal of research. So my recommendations is get your lecture theatres upgraded, get your lecterns upgraded, sorry, and the combat training stations. Once you've got them done, you can sell your research. Don't do training, just bring in staff that are already trained. You might get lucky and get a load of security trained staff off the bat. You might not get lucky, but you can see here we're losing a bit of money. We've dropped into debt. We don't need to finish with a profit. That's not part of the actual objectives. So it's fine to kind of be dropping into debt a little bit. And we're only losing money because we've not been able to like duplicate this and bring in more rent and what have you. Are we going to get to 400? Somebody just do an assignment. Come on. You can see here we're starting to really drop into debt, which, you know, this means that this place is unsustainable long term. You couldn't really do it. I don't think we're going to actually get another one leveled up, which is so frustrating. Can somebody just go to the library and like do one little assignment? I don't even have an assistant in the library. Where have they gone? 401, we did it! Yay! So I've done my own personal objective on top of the objectives that the game has given us. And that's really good. So, the 2-year challenge, I would just recommend using your rooms to make these choke points. Obviously, it makes it harder for your janitors to get to, but if you're slowing down these invaders, especially when you get to this last, like, part of it, as long as you're slowing them down, making their pathways to your, like, class-based rooms a lot longer. Like that lecture theatre, they very rarely got to that. And there we have it. Siege of Noblestead completed with a score of 408. And that's us done. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you picked up a few things if you're looking to do the challenge mode yourself. We have one more challenge mode to do from this new release. And then we'll be back on with the main base game. Pumpkin High is going to be our next one. And we just need to improve the grades of students cursed with a reduced learning rate. And we have to basically get high scores. 48 minutes is the gold standard. I'm not sure what that means, but we'll find out soon enough. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.